What's good, guys? Derek here from dasedesigns.com. In today's video, I wanted to create something different and start a Mascot logo critique series. So in today's video, I'm going to be critiquing one of my old Mascot logos, and this is a Spartan mascot that I made back in 2015. So hopefully this series is going to be insightful for you guys, offer logo tips for you guys, and also how you can apply this to your own logo. So instead of continuing to talk, let's get straight to the footage and start the video. As you guys can see, we got two logos for you guys to check out. On the left is a Spartan logo that I did back in May of this year, 2018. And then I have a Spartan logo. This is literally just a logo. I took that from the vector file. I did this one on the right, the gold one, back in 2015. So if you were to compare the two, as you guys can see, there's a huge difference. And then just critique this logo, because I feel like this one on the left, or sorry, the one on the right, that's kind of like what I run into a lot when you guys send me questions on like my opinions for how you guys can get better and what you could have done better or what you did wrong or things you're missing and stuff like that. So, and I say that because I feel like the one on the right here is, you know, when I created it, I didn't know that much. I still had a lot to learn. Again, I feel like it's the same case for most of you guys. So getting straight to it, just right off the bat, one thing I always recommend doing, guys, if you want to learn something, actually study it. And when I say study, I don't mean, you know, go to college. I don't mean go to school. I don't mean pick up a textbook. I don't mean take a course. I don't mean watch a YouTube video. I literally mean just look at whatever you want to study. In this case, we're looking at logos. Since there are pictures, we can literally just look at the picture of the logo. So we have this one right here, and if we go to my Instagram page, you can literally look at the logo and study it. How to study it this way. One great thing to do is simply ask yourself questions about it, and then the next thing to do is to take one of your logos and compare them, and then ask yourself questions about both designs. What separates them? What makes them different? What does that one have that mine is missing, or what is mine lacking, so to speak? So if we were to answer those questions, basically, you know, the one on the right, it feels kind of robotic, kind of mechanical. It also feels kind of skinny. You know, it looks somewhat kind of angry, somewhat kind of aggressive. And the one on the left looks super aggressive. It's super dark, it's organic, it's creative, it's got a great style, it's very bold, it looks very strong. So now it's kind of a matter of asking yourself, well, what makes it seem that way? So for example, the eyebrows on this one, they look more realistic. This one just kind of goes down at a slant. When I created this, I didn't really try to put too much creativity or too much research behind the eyes. So the eyes are the windows to the soul, so to speak. But when it comes to human expression, the face holds a lot of energy. Also the rest of the body. But anyways, you can learn a lot by looking at someone's facial expression, the way their eyebrows, what their eyebrows are doing. So for this one, I kind of did like a caricature of that, I guess you could say, for the mask, because I wanted him to look like an angry man. So as you guys can see, it kind of goes up like that, and then it kind of turns down. I learned that from just simply looking at pictures of angry faces. Like, it's just like a different expression rather than being super basic. So for this one example, you'll notice his eyebrow kind of rounds out, and then it kind of hooks down at the bottom. It kind of went like this. And then that's what this one kind of does. But for this one, I did the point just because I want it to be pointy and aggressive, and that kind of fits with like a Spartan helmet. Usually they kind of point down like that. Right, so if I was to go kind of like that. But anyways, you know, so that's kind of what that's what I feel like this one is missing with expression. It looks so robotic. So when I did this expression like that, it made it look more realistic, more organic, has more style and more flow. Next, this one looks very scrawny. It looks so basic and boring. So I feel like one of the reasons for that is because the outline is very thin. You know, so it just kind of looks very scrawny. There's like this big black spot area, and the outline doesn't fit with that. It just looks like I just didn't take my time. I just blacked it out, and I was like, all right, outline is super thin. So this one, if I was to recreate something like this, and I kind of want the top to go like that, and then maybe kind of round out the top. This is kind of like a general shape of like a Spartan helmet overall. And then I just want to round this one off at the bottom. I'm doing that just so it kind of has a nice clean shape. And then again, I mentioned this one looks very weak. Spartans can't be weak, man. If I'm not mistaken, they train the young Spartans by putting them on a whipping post and whipping them so they get stronger. So these guys are not weak, they're not afraid, they're bold, you know, they have crazy methods. So this Spartan logo can't be scrawny, it can't be, you know, weak, it can't be that way. So by having this nice bold outline it gives it strength. It makes it nice and bold. And I'm just trying to keep this kind of quick and rough. I don't want this video to be super long. Just adding more weight to the outside shape. I got this kind of weight. It's kind of like an average weight I use for a logo that's like this, 2.25 inches or something like that. So this is kind of like a decent weight. Yeah, back to the eyebrows again. You know, I wanted them to be more humanized, so it's more of an expression rather than just a helmet. Now the helmet has expression. It has personality. He looks mean. It looks like it's a part of his face, like it was made for that expression. So that's kind of what I did on the left logo. So anyways, now that it's nice and bold, it's not so scrawny and weak anymore. Another thing I mentioned on the left is a lot more organic. It has more flow. For example, like this looks like it was made together. It looks kind of realistic. You know, it has a nice flow. It flows into it like that. It's not just like one straight line. Like this one is just a straight line down. It's like I didn't put enough effort and time into this one in the middle. I just kind of did this and I was like, all right, that looks good. But anyways, so when it comes back to shading, like I said, this one over here on the left looks more organic. It looks more natural. One thing I did is I kind of made this kind of had some weight right here. And I just added some dimension, and then instead of just blacking this all out, yeah, it looks all right actually, but I kind of feel like it would look cooler if I kind of left a space, an empty space right here. So if I was just to kind of leave this open for white, almost for like a reflection coming in the background, just so it's even more unique. And now, you know, I just like this left side is nice and dark. Again, I want it to be dark and aggressive and angry, almost like this one on the left kind of looks like a demon. Anyways, and now this one right here, I feel like this, it's kind of like offset. I don't really like the way it fits. So one thing I would also do is just kind of add more going on in here. So maybe I could just do something like this. And you'll notice I still leave these cuts. Like here's a cut right here. If I was to get rid of it, you know, you can't really see much. And I'm leaving these here just to leave enough information that the viewer can kind of work out with their mind what it is. The left side is going to be much darker. And the right side is, you know, telling you exactly pretty much what it is, like the shape. So we don't have to do that overall. But still on the left side over here, I just want enough information so that the viewer can work out what it is, like from a small scale, for example. And that's another reason why I kind of add this boldness. You know, you can tell it's a Spartan, right? But it just looks, you know, kind of weak and it doesn't have much strength. But anyways, so now that we kind of like have a great base outline for kind of like this. So yeah, this logo on the left, it has like some nice cuts. There was one here, I just drew over it. There's one here, and this kind of is like a cut right there. It just adds, doing stuff like that makes it look more organic. Yeah, so the one that I used for reference on the original photo, or the gold one, was this one. You'll notice this has a lot of, I don't know, it has a lot of character to it. Like these scratches, these, you know, knife marks, they give it a lot of character. They give it more personality. So that's kind of why I did here, but I just did a poor job of doing that. So I'm going to do something similar to that, but again, still kind of replicating this one, the gold one. So, you know, one thing I would simply do is just kind of do like a nice one right here, just bolding it out, like just so it kind of fits with the outline. So the outline is very bold, so the inner lines also need to kind of work with that in a sense. You know, they don't need to be exactly as bold, but they need to be a relatively similar weight. You know, for example, if I was to make these, if I was to make this one very skinny, that looks okay, but I mean, it actually doesn't look bad, but I don't really like it. I feel like when it's bolder, it just puts more emphasis that this Spartan has been through some stuff. Like, yo, you don't want to mess with me. You know, I just got cut on my eye and I'm still standing and I'm ready to cut you up. You know what I'm saying? So just by making it bold, similar to the outline, when you zoom out, it's more present. Like the ones on this gold face, they're not really present when we zoom out. Logos on social media is huge nowadays. Logos are going to be seen here, so they're going to be seen small. So it's great to zoom out when you're doing that. So yeah, anyways, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. So moving forward, like I said, the one on the left is far more organic, and that leads into the shading. So I usually create a layer beneath my outline. I like to get an outline that I'm happy to work with and then start adding some shading. So I'm just going to do a nice dark gray. And I'm just going to leave it in grayscale just so it's easy to understand. Colors can trick us sometimes. So yeah, anyways, with this gold one, I just did a straight line right down the middle. It looks whack. It looks boring. Let's be honest. You know, just be honest with yourself. It's cool as long as you fix it and don't give up. So yeah, this one, like I mentioned, it kind of has that little cut right there, and that looks super fire. So if I was to do something like this, Maybe I would just gray this all out, nice and dark gray. And then, you know, maybe I would lead this, what's it called? This scratch, this cut right here into the helmet, kind of like this. Just another cut, maybe in a different spot, something like that. That's okay. Looks all right. But yeah, anyway, so now that we got our basic shadow down, aside from the black, that's a shadow at the same time from the outline. But now that we got our gray, I'm going to use another color, a lighter gray. And also, I don't want the light to be completely open on the right side, if that makes sense. So one thing I would kind of do is just maybe add the same shadow color over here, just so the light source kind of looks like it's more in the front, and just so the right side isn't so boring and open and so blank. So by adding some shadow to the the side that's more so in light, this just adds more going on, so it's not so boring and it's not so basic. And that kind of looks all right. It's a bit too bright because of the white. So what I'm gonna do is bring it down to another color, a super bright gray, just so it's not like too contrasted. It's not too much contrast. I just wanna reduce it a bit. And this is, you know, decent for now. The shading, I don't want it to be so simple and boring, you know, just make it look organic, just so it looks better. It just has more character, more personality. And again, how I did that with the shading, just by adding this little mark right here at the top. And going back to the one that I recently did, you know, so that's kind of what I did here. So like I said, I brought in the shadow from this side, the dark gray, and then put in the shadow here just so it's not so boring and bland. And then I also did something like that to the eyes, just to add more dimension to the helmet, just so it doesn't look so flat. Kind of like this one, it just looks like a flat surface if I was to draw it. And then here's like the eye gap. It looks like that. But the one over here on the left side kind of looks more like this. And then it kind of adds weight to it. You know, this one's just kind of straight. Now this one kind of adds that dimension. And then this was all in shadow right here. So just to relate that, that's kind of like this area. It kind of gets some weight like that. So hopefully that helps you guys understand that. And that's kind of what I did right here. And that's also what I did on the original one. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm sure this is going to be helpful for you guys. So again, since we did it on the left side over here, we want to do something similar to the right side just so it makes sense. So yeah, anyways, wanted to do something similar right here. So again, now it adds dimension to the right side and the left side. So they both look similar, you know, and again, like I did with the light blue. But yeah, so this thing right here is also right here. It's just a little different. So yeah, something kind of like that. That looks about good. You know, it's not like super crazy. Maybe one thing I could do is add some dimension right here by doing a quick little shadow, kind of like that. That looks all right. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. This is kind of my logo critique from an old logo I did, again, back in 2015. If you guys will ever want to check out some of my older stuff, you can definitely check it out on Instagram if you just scroll all the way to the bottom. Like, I don't delete anything on here. So it's all here. Like the Spartan logo, the original picture I posted, it's on there if you just scroll to the bottom. So yeah, anyways, I think the one on the right, the one that we just created, looks 10 times better than this gold one that I did back in the day, especially if I was to add color, spend more time on it. That's one thing I didn't mention that also separates these two. You can tell, you know, that I spent more time on this one over here in comparison to this one. I just tried harder. You know, the amount of effort you put into something, we can definitely tell. I know you guys can see it in my work. You guys can see it here. I put more effort into it, especially to break it down for you guys to understand. So people can see that in your work. If you want it to look better, put more effort into it, because we are going to be able to tell. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. This is going to be the start of a new series, but the next videos are going to be including logo designs from you guys. So if you want your logo design to be featured in one of my logo critiquing videos, all you guys got to do is shoot me an email at dasedesignsLogoCritique@gmail.com. That's going to be on the bottom of the screen, in the description and the comment section. Be sure to send me a picture of the logo you guys want me to critique. Also leave your name and then also your social media account so I can kind of figure out who you guys are and showcase your work on the channel. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you found it insightful, and I'm going to end it with my logo course. If you guys enjoy videos like this, be sure to check out my eSports logo course for Mascot logo designs and identity designs on how to build all of those things. So yeah, I'm going to end with the trailer now, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. What's up, guys? Welcome to our eSports logo course brought to you by dasedesigns.com and Logo Inspirations. My name is Derek and I'm going to be your instructor. Through hours of content, we're going to be teaching you guys how to create professional eSports mascot logos and identity designs alike. We're going to be starting with the basic keys of sketching and also show you guys how to gather information from your clients to craft a set of project goals. Then we're going to be moving on to the full mascot logo design process, and we're not just stopping there. We're also going to be going over identity design. And this includes jersey designs, social media concepts, and also apparel designs. And finally, we're going to gather everything together to create a professional presentation project, not only to attract clients, but also to inspire and build an audience. If you've been wanting to learn how to create professional esports mascot logos, then this course is the course for you. Again, my name is Derek, and I'll see you all on the inside.